Alhamdulillah, we are here tonight on the banner of the Halaqa where we started last week on Tawwaqul, the teachings, morals of reliance on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we gave so many examples about that. The example of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We said when it comes to the issue of Tawwaqul, there are two sides to it. There is amalun wa amalun, the side that belongs to man and the side that belongs to Allah. The one that belongs to man requires amalun, our own participation, our own role. Before you say I rely on Allah, you must have put gadgets into place. I rely on Allah that my house will be safe tonight, that I'll be protected. Then you have to lock the door, lock the gate, lock the window. I rely on Allah that I will not witness bad experiences. There won't be armed robbers or burglars that will come into my house. Then I have to lock the door at the back, not just close it, but lock it. Or if you open your door, you open your window, you open it. Why didn't you close it? I rely on Allah. Allah is my protector. That's a wrong understanding of reliance on Allah, because you've not done your own bit. That is the amalun. So, but the amalun, the aspect of hope which belongs to Allah, is now for Allah to protect you. Haven't done your own part. You want to pass your examination, you rely on Allah, you have to read. That's your own role. So for Allah to now make you to remember what you read is the part of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we got that example from a man who had a camel and he left his camel. Then he went to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He sat down at the Halaqa. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked him, "What about your camel?" He said, "I left my camel to Allah." He said, "No, did you tie it?" So he said, "I didn't tie it, but I left it to Allah. Allah will protect." He said, "No. Go and tie it and then leave the rest to Allah to protect." So that is the meaning. So Tawwaqul simply means the amalun and the hamal. We also explained that there are two extremes to Tawwaqul. That means Tawwaqul could be viewed from three angles. Two of the angles are extreme, very, very un-Islamic. Only one is correct. The first one that is very un-Islamic, but it looks like Islamic, is for you to say, I depend on Allah, I rely on Allah, and you do nothing. They ask you, "Oh, do you have money?" Said, "No." Said, "Okay, what is your work?" Said, "I don't have any work. I rely on Allah." You must have work. You must have work. If you want to be rich, you want to be wealthy, even if you don't want to be rich, you don't want to be wealthy, but you need money to buy something, you need to do something. So when you ask, what can you do? You should be able to say, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. And that will be your own role. So, but for somebody not to be skilled in anything, you cannot teach, you cannot repair, you cannot render service, you cannot, and it goes on and on and on. Nothing you can do. And your acts said, I rely on Allah. That is a wrong notion. Today we have those who do that. I don't know, but in my country, we have scholars whose job is supposed to be to teach the children majorly Quran, Islamic study, and Arabic. So, and then turn it to teaching job and collect salary at the end of the month. They refuse to teach. So what you see them doing is to sit down in the masjid after everybody had gone to work and then begging Allah to give them money, to open doors for them for money. So where would that money come from? When you're not doing the job, you don't have any job. That was the reason why Umar, when he came to the masjid and he met people like this, he whipped them out of the mosque. He whipped them, said, "You are not reliant on Allah, but you are parasites on Allah. So go out of the masjid." The second extreme of reliance is for somebody to say, "I don't even rely on Allah because I cannot see Him." I rely on myself. It's whatever I can do that I trust. I don't trust anybody that I don't see. Do you believe as I do? I don't want to even believe in any God. I work hard to get whatever I want to get. So he does everything and he has no hope. He has nothing. No prayer, nothing. Such is the second extreme as related to reliance. So those two are the same. Somebody who does not do anything, but he said, I totally rely on Allah. He didn't do anything. The second one is somebody who does not even bring in Allah. He does everything by himself. Those two are extreme position. The real position is the middle course. 50% from there, 50% from here. That is, you do your own bit, you leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is the real meaning of reliance on Allah, which every one of us must imbibe. And we said that there is nothing like your role, then the role of Allah, and you stop. No, it can be continuous. You can play your role, and then you leave the role of Allah. You play your role again, you play your role again, you play your role again. You can also play your role, and you keep on requesting, begging, praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until the door is open. So once you are still alive, you have the opportunity. Don't ever relent effort. I was a witness to a father whose son came back from school and he got a position that was lower than what he requested for. So he was crying. The father asked him, why are you crying? He said, is it because of your position? He said, no, but because I told Allah that I want to come first. And I didn't come first. So that means Allah did not answer my prayer. The father said, no, Allah answered your prayer. But Allah is just showing you that you need to play your own role more. So go back to him. Tell him, Allah, after I beg you to become the first person in the class, I came fourth, I came fifth. This is not what I asked for. So I'm going to put in my best. I'm going to put in my effort. I'm grateful to you to this one you do. Please answer my prayer and come first. And then he went back, started saying that prayer. And ever since he said that, he is always first in the class. So this is the meaning when we talk of putting our reliance on Allah. It has no full stop. The only full stop is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered your prayer. We would always appreciate him. We will always give thanks to him. We will always rely on him. So we have examples that we've given. And so many other ones that we are yet to give. As far as Islam is concerned, the role of man is known as asbab. The asbab. So the asbab simply means that you play your role and then you leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that was what happened between the time of the journey of the Prophet with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu to Garul Iraq. So as far as we are concerned, as far as Islam is concerned, we don't cut off our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We strengthen the relationship. We strengthen it. وَأَنَّ الْعَبْدَ هُوَ الْخَالِقُ لِأَعْمَالِهِ, and that we create our own job. We do our own bit. We do our bit by creating our job. So whatever job you do today, whatever action you put in today, it is emanating from you. Yet Allah knows your capability and capacity. Your capability and capacity, they are two different things. Your capability is different from your capacity. So, but Allah knows the two. What you are capable of doing and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created with you. So the capacity is what you have. The capability is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enable you to be able to do. Allah knows everything and he has created you that way. So, but to use your capability or your capacity to do something is not left to you. It's left to you. If you sit down here and your food is there, you have the capability, the ability to stand up and take the food and bring it to where you are to eat. But if you refuse, Allah will not help you bring the food. But He has given you what? The capacity and the capability to do that. Now you can stand up, you can walk with your leg, you can see the food with your eyes, and you can carry it with your hands. What else do you need? So Allah has played His own role. So the next is your own role. So you have to use your capability and capacity to do what will require what you need. And that is your own role, which is known as asbab. So you don't give your role to Allah to do for you. You have to do it yourself. I think we gave so many examples last week. We even talked to the extent of having a baby. If you have your wife and then you are the husband, so you now told your wife, I will not come to you, but I pray to Allah that you be pregnant. She said, why? He said, are you doubting Allah? Allah did it to our mother Maryam. She has no husband, but she was pregnant. So if you don't doubt Allah, let's pray to Him. I don't have to touch you. Yes, Allah can do that, but Allah will not do it for you. He won't. Why? Because He has given you the ability, the capability to impregnate your wife. He has given your wife the ability and capability to be pregnant. So if you refuse to use what Allah has given to you, and you will now want something miraculously, you are deceiving yourself. So as far as Islam is concerned, that is not Tawwaqul. But if you now meet your wife, instead of you to get the result, you are not getting it. Then you go back to Allah. Allah, you gave me this capability, but it's not working. Please help me out. And that was what our Prophet Zakaria told Allah. Rabbi la tatharini wardan wa anta khairul warithin. Oh Allah, do not make me to die the way I am without having an heir. So give me a son, Yarisuni wa Yarisu min ali Yaqub, that will inherit me and inherit the legacy of the family of Yaqub. That is prophethood. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised him Yahya. So this is the meaning of Tawwaqul. Tawwaqul simply means you put in your own role, you do your own best, and you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless whatever you do. And this is the understanding all the Sahaba had. So whenever anybody goes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to beg, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would redirect their begging to work, to action. Somebody went to him one day and he begged for money. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I'm coming. He went inside and he said, take the money. He was very grateful. He said, come back. I didn't give you the money for what you asked for. I want to send you on errand. He said, okay, at your command, sir. He said, go to the market and buy me axe. He went to the market, he came with the axe. He said, here's the axe, where's the money? He said, I will answer you. Take this axe, go into the bush and cut some trees. He went there, he cut it, he brought it back. And then we have the trees that became firewood. He said, okay, so where is the money? He said, wait, take this firewood to the market and sell it. He went to the market, he sold it, he came back with money. He said, you're asking for money? Here's the money. But before you go, how much did I give you for the axe? He mentioned, said, give me my money. Give it back to him. He said, take your axe and take the remaining balance. Whenever you need money, go into the bush with this axe, cut it down, go to the market, sell it, and you have your money. It's better for you than to go begging. Look at that. He didn't say, you need money, go into the masjid, perform to nawafil, and beg Allah for money. That's a wrong notion. So, as Muslims, we must know the meaning of reliance on Allah and practice it according to the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to do it. Until when you are no more capable, when you are suppressed, when you put in your best and the result is not coming out, that is when you need to. Or until you put in your efforts before you say, Allahumma, you beg Allah to make your effort to be fruitful. Yes, those are the two times you need to call unto Allah. You call unto Allah when you finish your own side of it and you ask Him to bless your action. Prophet Ibrahim he said, Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka anta samiul alim. Oh Allah, accept this effort from me and my son Ismail, because you can hear and you know everything. What was the effort? The effort of building the Kaaba. But he and his son had already built the Kaaba. and they call unto Allah that Allah should accept the effort. Did Allah accept their prayer? Yes, Allah did. Because we are witnesses to that now. We can see the effort blooming. Everybody goes to Hajj. You see every year in and from both within and outside the country. So that is the real meaning of Tawwaqul. Within the shortest time we have, we want to make an introduction to the next topic, which is Al-Itharu wa Hubbil Khair. Preferences, and then loving others the way we love ourselves, or wishing others well. So preferences and wishing others well. Preference simply means you prefer others to yourself. That's to give preference. And that is the highest level Islam has earmarked. If you are hungry, somebody else is hungry, you give your food to somebody else to eat. If you are thirsty, somebody else is thirsty, you give your water to somebody else to drink. You consider them before you consider yourself. That is the highest level. And this level goes with the muhsinun, those who are good doers. They are not just believers, they are good doers. Every day, their record reads good, or righteousness. That's their record. You will never see evil in their record on a daily basis. They are beyond mu'minun. They are not just believers. They are not just prophets. They are not prophets because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose prophet himself. But these people, they've already trained and disciplined themselves to a level that if they say Allahumma, Allah will say Ameen. Why? Because they have records of good deeds flowing from them, emanating from them on a daily basis to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this set of people, they prefer others to themselves. My brother, please go, no problem. Not because he's angry, not because he's fighting with you, because he thinks, no, you must have access to it before me. This is the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He taught us that whenever you are in charge, you are the distributor of any benefit, you will be the last to get that benefit. For example, if I am in charge of water, there is water in front of me, I am the distributor of water, I must not first of all drink the water. I have to give the water to everybody that is tasty. Then if there is nobody else that is tasty, then I will take mine. If it is food, I am the distributor of the food. Everybody must eat before I eat. If I am the person that is distributing food. If it is wealth, the same thing. That means if I am the governor of a country, I will be the last to get accommodation until every other person does what? Gets accommodation. If I am the leader, the governor of a country, I will be the last, except if the accommodation I got is not from the state force, it's from my own earnings. So that's another issue entirely. But if it is from the state and each individual has access to only one accommodation, it must be that accommodation that belongs to me, coming from the state, will be the last until when there is nobody. These are the teachings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is what he taught the Sahaba. This is what they practiced. During the time of Umar radhiyallahu anhu, when there was famine, nobody was able to eat except the rich. And they brought in food. He said, "What is this? You told me that there was famine, that people were not able to eat, and you brought me this." They said, "No, you are the Khalifa. You must be strong in order to see to the affairs of the believers." He said, "Yes, but Allah will ask me that there are servants of me out there that could not afford to eat what you are eating." He said, "I swear in the name of Allah, until when every man on the street is able to eat, I will not eat this food." And he refused to. He refused to. Go and serve them. Make everybody comfortable. This is the teachings of Islam. If you are a distributor of wealth, of everything, you must be the last recipient of such benefit. And you see, this is a natural way of life, but we just don't think of it. When you look at animals, I don't know if you've ever studied the life of the chicken. The mother chicken will always peck food, but not swallowing it, but give it to the baby chicken. So the chicks will always eat it. The mother will fetch for food, peck the food, and throw it for the chicks to eat. You will never see the mother chicken eating before the children. No, the children must eat first. And in some occasions, the mother chicken will not eat until all the baby refuse the food. So The same thing with human being. If you look at the relationship between mother and then children, see the way they relate. They allow their children to eat before they eat. I'm not talking of the father, I'm talking of the mother now. The father is less concerned. He's even going to say, you think you can deceive me with this your cry? I will finish eating and then I will go back to you. So fathers are always like that. So that's in my language we call fathers. We say fathers sometimes could be criminals in that light, and that's why you see the children. In most cases, they don't go to the father when they are hungry. They go to their mothers because they know the father will not even listen to them, but they go to their mothers because they know it is the mother that will answer them. When you go out with your children for a purpose, you will only go for that purpose if you are a man. But you see the woman, when they go out with their children for a purpose, they branch here, branch there, branch there, branch here, branch here, branch there, for purpose that were not planned. For example, if the plan is just to go and buy shirts in Tala market or shopping center, while they were there, they will branch at the donut shop. She will buy for her. The toy shop, she will buy for them. The shop and buy. But the mom will say, hey, we are going to that shop. That's the only shop I promise you. I'm not going anywhere. That's where he's going. So, to give preference to others is the teaching of Islam. It is even the natural way of life. You see it among animals. The mothers will give preference to. But Islam now extends it that it is not between mother and children alone. It must be between fellow human beings. Although that is the highest form of righteousness, of good doers. But we're supposed to embrace it. But it is compulsory for those that are distributors to be the last recipients of such benefit. Even if it's not compulsory for all Muslims, but it is highly recommended that they do it. Give preference to your brother. And that is the idea that says, Izihad fima in the nurse, yuhibbuka nurse. A Sahaba went to the Prophet ﷺ. He said, what will I do that will make Allah to love me and that will make fellow human beings to love me? He said, Izihad fi dunya yuhibbuka Allah. If you did not take this world as your focus, Allah will love you. If this world is not your focus, Allah will love you. Izihad fima in the nas, yuhibbuka nas. And if you do not take what people have, if you don't take it as your own focus, then the people will love you. What does that mean? Somebody is eating. That food is what he wants to eat. On sitting down with him, you are hungry. But that's not your focus. That's not your focus. You are less concerned about the food. Even if he says, come and say, no, I'm okay. Such person will like you. Whenever you knock at the door and you mention your name, you will not hide his food. But next time, before he says, come and he says, this is food. In fact, I've been hungry. And you finish the food. Next time you knock at the door, he's going to hide the food. Because he'll say, that guy, he likes eating too much. So if you do not make what people have as your focus, they will love you. So that is the teaching. In Islam, you give preference to others. And you cannot do that except you give preference to them. Let them have it. What would inspire this preference from you? It is the Aqidah, the iman you have that whatever is for you will never pass you. Even if it's a morsel of food, if Allah says, I remember, I think 3-4 days ago, if I remember vividly, in the morning, I just made my breakfast and I serve it, I put it on the dining table. And then I said, okay, let me allow it to cool down. And then I went to the sitting room. I was listening. Then I received a phone call. That was there. That breakfast was there till the next day. Do you understand that? So it means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had already decided that you will cook the food, you will make it, you will serve it, but you will not eat it and you will not die. Nothing will happen to you. But I will give you an assignment that will not enable you to remember your food. What about that? I think it's 3-4 days ago. I just had to rush out. And my wife was telling me, your breakfast is on the table. I said, forget about breakfast. That's what I said. And I was hungry. But the call I received would never allow me to even to waste 1 more minute. 1 more minute. I couldn't waste it. But that is not the real issue. The issue was that Allah already written it that no, that food, you will make it, but you will never take it this morning. So I had to go out, and I said, okay, no problem. I'm going along Clondalkin. When I get to Clondalkin, I will branch there. At the restaurant, I will take my breakfast. On getting to the place, the shop was closed. Second issue. You see the way Allah does things? So I had to go like that. Empty stomach, money in pocket, food not in the belly. I have the money, I have food at home. Allah says no. So if you have the aqidah that whatever is meant for you will never bypass you, then you will defocus yourself from what people have. You just look away. But if you think by your effort, by your struggle, by your plan and tricks, you get whatever you get, then you will always struggle for it. It doesn't mean you won't put in your effort even if you believe in Allah, but you don't put in effort in such a way that it is your effort that fetch you that. No. That can never work. So that is why people today do not give preference to other fellow Muslims. When an opportunity opens, it's an opportunity for me to be this. You see them jumping. Sometimes they go behind to defame their Muslim brothers, their Muslim sister, so that they think if this guy falls, then I will be the next person. But if Allah says, if he falls, you are not going to be. So, وَحُبُّ الْخَيْرِ and then لِلْآخِرِينَ, and to wish others well. That is the meaning of this topic. Min akhlaqi Muslim, one of the character, the morals that Islam teaches is iktasabaha min ta'alim dini wa mahasin islamihi al-ithar ala nafs, is to give preference to others in what we do and to wish them well. Fal Muslim mata raha muhallan li ithar athar ghayruhu ala nafsi. Whenever a Muslim sees an opportunity, he prefers others to himself. وَفَضَّلَهُ عَلَيْهَا, and he gave them honor above himself. فَقَدْ يَرْجِعُ لِيَشْبَهَ غَيْرُهُ. It can be such that he is hungry, and because he wants others to fill their stomach, he has them to eat. وَيَعْتُشُ لِيَرْوَ سِوَاهُ. And sometimes it is tasty, he wants others to satisfy their thirsty before he drinks. Did you hear about the case of a man and his wife that lives in the bush, in the village? And this guy had a problem. Another person in the plane crashed down. It had to land by force or something like that in the bush, and everybody had to look for safety. So one of them had to walk away, and then he came to the house of this man with his wife. He knocked at the door, and then he said, we had a problem with our plane, we had to land the plane, so I came here to pass the night. I said, we saw the plane coming down, so sorry, could you just come in? And this person came in. So they opened the door to the room and asked him to come into the room. And the guy asked them, no, where are you going to say? No, don't worry, we have another room, just stay there. So this guy slept. So when it was in the morning, and they gave him food too, when it was in the morning, so it was in the night, and it was in the village, no light, nothing except the lamp. So he woke up only to find out that it was only one room, that the other place was just the sitting room. So the wife and the husband and their son, they had to manage there in the sitting room. He came out in the morning and he was crying. So you left your room for me. He said, because we are taught by the Prophet ﷺ that we should make our visitor comfortable. This is our house. We've been sleeping there every day. And then you just came yesterday night. You don't know anything. So how should we now ask you to sleep in the sitting room? So you're supposed to sleep where we used to sleep, so that you'll be comfortable. So this is ithar, giving preferences to others above ourselves. And this is how Islam teaches us to live. بَلْ قَدْ يَمُوتُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ أَوْ فِي سَبِيلِ آيَةِ آخَرِينَ. Even some people among the Sahaba, because of the preferences they give to their brothers, they die. There was a case of a Sahaba that was tasty after the battle, on the battlefield, and he called for water. Somebody brought the water to him, and he had another person, water, water, water. He said, go and give it to the person. And it went round like that. The next person said, water, water, go and give it. By the time the guy got to the last person, he's already dead. Then he came to the first person and said, okay, here is the water. He's already dead too. So they so much love themselves to the extent that they prefer, even at the point of death. No. At the point of death, say, give it to him, give it to him. Don't worry, give it to him, give it to him. If you understand the meaning of what I've said, and you try to place yourself, you would laugh. You will pity yourself. That who am I beside these companions of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? These people were not angels. They are human beings like me and you. They were not prophets. They are fallible. They commit mistakes just the way we commit mistake. But they don't deliberately commit sin like we deliberately commit sin. Not because they are protected, but because they believe in Allah, and then they are afraid. They were afraid of the punishment of Allah. But in our own case, we believe in Allah, but we are not afraid of His punishment. That's the problem. And the difference between وَمَا ذَلِكَ بِبَعِيدٍ وَلَا غَرِيبٍ. This example of people giving preferences to others is not just a joke. Neither is it fake or far-fetched. It's not. These are examples from the life of Prophet, companion. May the peace and blessing of Allah be upon him. Not only that, وَالْمُسْلِمْ فِي إِيثَارِهِ وَحُبِّهِ لِلْخَيْرِ نَاهِجٌ نَهْجَ الصَّالِحِينَ السَّابِقِينَ. So anybody who also follow this way of life of giving preferences to others, he is following the paths of the righteous people, as-sabiqin, our predecessors, وَضَرِبٌ فِي دَرْبِ الْأَوَّلِينَ, and he is also following the path of the model. Who are the model? The companions. Al-Fa'idhin, those who are successful, those with whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah says, part of their character is that they prefer others to themselves, وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصًا, even if they are also in need. They are also in need, but they prefer others to themselves. They are in need, they need it, but no, give it to him, don't worry. I'm okay with what I have. وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Allah called them successful because they protected themselves against miserliness. That is the stinginess of the mind. The stinginess of the mind. They don't. We go to the extent of even marriage. You see a brother have interest in a sister, and he also know about another brother. He just heard about it. He went overnight because he thought, no, this sister must be mine. But unfortunately, what we see as good does not mean such thing is inherently good. Something on the superficial level may be good, but beneath it may not. Allah has a way of doing things. He has a way of doing things. Not all that glitters are gold. So the fact that you see someone that is good doesn't mean, and even if that thing is good to the last end, from head to tail, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may say, if this goodness is attached to this, the goodness will not show. That goodness will not be for you. There was a case of a sister who married a brother for 3-4 years. They did not have anything, and they got divorced. So she married another man, and then she started giving birth to twins and triplets. What about that? So she has that twins and triplets, but Allah did not release them for him, but for somebody else. So there are ways. These are the things you have in mind, and then you have your mind at rest. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. If you say, no, Bismillah, Bismillah, take it, Bismillah, take it. You are okay, Bismillah. When the husband of Hafsat, the daughter of Umar ibn Khattab, died, Umar ibn Khattab went to Abu Bakr, and he told Abu Bakr, you are my best friend. I want you to marry my daughter. She has lost her husband. Abu Bakr kept silent, And Umar said, I'm talking to you, Abu Bakr. You've not replied me. He said, I will reply you. He didn't say anything better than that. And Umar left out of annoyance. It's either you say yes or no. But you didn't say anything. Then you will reply me. And he was annoyed. But he left him for this. And later, the Prophet ﷺ sent message to Umar that I want to marry your daughter. And Umar was very happy that the Prophet ﷺ married his daughter. Then Abu Bakr called Umar. He said, you remember the day you called to me and you told me to marry your daughter? He said, yes. What happened that day? He said, I was annoyed with you. He said, yes, I know you were annoyed, but I didn't tell you something. What happened was that a day before then, I had the messenger of Allah asking about your daughter, that Hafsat has lost her husband, and we said yes. He said, oh, and that was it. Immediately he mentioned her name. I thought maybe that this girl is better for the Prophet than myself. So I wanted to be sure that the Prophet ﷺ is not interested in marrying her. That's why I said, I will give you answer. It's not as if I didn't know. So you see, so I cannot be contesting with the Prophet ﷺ. Whenever he shows interest in something, I have to withdraw mine. This is the understanding. And it wasn't because it belongs to Abu Bakr and the Prophet. If it were to be somebody else, the same thing Abu Bakr would do. Because they give preference to their Muslim brothers over themselves. If we all in this room give preference to the person beside us over ourselves, whatever is distributed will come back to us. I don't know if you know the example. If it is bread, and I start with Brother Yusuf, I said, take this bread, I give it to you. He said, okay. He said, brother, please take, I give it to you. It goes round. It will come back to what? To him. Because I will say, okay, Brother Yusuf, I give it to you again. So it started with him, and it will go back to him. So you've not lost anything. But the problem we have is the miserliness. And the second thing is we think, if I say, I give it to you, and the brother said, okay, I take it, that means I've lost it. No, you did not lose it. It's not meant for you. If it is meant for you, the brother it will go back. It will go back, and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. I did not finish the story I said about my breakfast 3-4 days ago. Okay, nobody touched the food. I went and I came back later in the night. It was there. I prepared it myself and I met it there. So the second day I warmed it and I took mine. So the second day. So that is Allah. Because the food is meant for me, but not at that time. I prepared it and I said, no, I will take you out of the home, but you come back, sleep in this house, you will not touch it. The second day, then it will be your food. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never allow what belongs to us to go beyond us. Inna kulla halaikul Muslim al-fadila. All the characters of Muslim is nothing but honor. Wa kulla khisalihi al-hamida al-jamila. All his behavior are also beautiful. Inama hiya mustaqatun min yanabi al-hikmat al-muhammadiyya. Because our behavior, our character are what? Are stemming from the character of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He taught us everything. And wa mustawhatun min fuyudati rahmat al-ilahiyya, and they are inspiration coming from Allah, the most merciful. Because whatever the Prophet ﷺ does is coming from Allah. فَعَلَى مِثْلِ قَوْلِ رَسُولِ الْكَرِيمِ الْمُتَّفَقُ عَلَيْهِ. And for example, the Prophet ﷺ taught us, this is an inspiration from Allah to him. لَا يُؤْمِنُ أَحَدُكُمْ حَتَّى يُحِبَّ لِأَخِيهِ مَا يُحِبُّ لِنَفْسِهِ. None of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. We learned this from the Prophet ﷺ, and Allah inspired the Prophet to say it. So if you love for your brother what you love for yourself, then that is preferences. You are giving preference to your brother. And these are the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ. So why wouldn't Allah reward you for that? So it is from this hadith that scholars now said there are 3 categories of our relationship and love for our Muslim brothers. 3 categories. The first one is to love your Muslim brother above yourself. That is preference. You prefer him. That's the level of the Muhsinun, those who are next to the Prophet of Allah. The second one is to love for him what you love for yourself. The same level. The first one, if you have 1,000 you give everything to your Muslim brother. The second level, if you have 1,000, you divide it into 2. You give him 500, you also take 500. It's as an example. So whatever you give to him, you give to yourself. But the first one, you give everything to him. You don't look back. Because your belief is that whatever you give to others as benefit will come back to you in this life or on the day of judgment. It's never in vain. But whatever you give to yourself will disappear. It's gone. You've already had the benefit. It's gone. It is what you give to others that you take. When the Prophet ﷺ slaughtered a goat and he distributed everything, leaving a portion with Aisha, said, "This is for ours." Then they threw everything. People who are still waiting to collect more. Then you look at Aisha. What else? What do we have? He said, "Nothing except this one for ourselves." He said, "No, we have everything we've given out. This one we call for ourselves is the one for dunya." So everything we gave out is for ours. This one we call ours is not ours, it's for dunya. I don't know if you understand that. The food you gave to others, the food your friend ate from, the portion he ate from your food, that's the one that belongs to you. But the one you ate yourself belongs to the toilet. Yeah. See the difference? But the one you give to others is the halaqa you make. And that's what you see in your records. So giving preference to others is the first step. The second step is to love your Muslim brother what you love for yourself. Or to love for them what you love for yourself. And that is the least. The third one is not acceptable. To love yourself above them. No. It's not acceptable. Because if you love yourself above them, you will not give them anything. If there is food, you eat it alone. Opportunity, you do it alone. You consider yourself, you don't even want to think about them. People like that, when they come to position, when they are in position of power, they forget about fellow Muslim brothers and sisters. They remember themselves. When Allah told Ibrahim, "Inni ja'iluka linnasi imaman," I have made you the leader of mankind. He didn't say Alhamdulillah. You know what he said? He said, "Qala wa min dhurriyyati." Oh Allah, what about my children, my offspring, those coming after me? That's what he said. Because he was thinking about them, not about himself. Allah says, "La yanalu ahdi dhalimin." Those that are coming after you, if they are as good as you are, they will be leaders. If they are not, then my promise will never get to them. And that's what Allah told Prophet Ibrahim. So my brothers and sisters in Islam, the character of giving preferences to others, even those of us that are siblings from the same family, you see the way we relate to ourselves, we start the struggle from home. I will never allow my brother to bypass me. I will never allow my sister to do that. No, I won't allow that. More often than not, you see a sister, a sibling, accusing the elder sister or the parents that you love my sister better than me. You buy her everything. You don't buy me anything. Because the word we have today is word of competition. Word of gross competition and miserliness, selfishness. People start talking about themselves. We are less concerned about others. The same thing is affecting our home. You see somebody say, "Look at that Muslim sister, she's a widow for the past 4 years." Oh, other Muslims say, "Hey, may Allah assist her." And that's the end. May Allah assist. How will Allah assist her? From heaven? She just said, "May Allah assist her." She closed the door. Oh, look at that sister, she's divorcee. She has 4 children, and then for the past 7 years, she has nobody to say, "Oh, I pity her. May Allah assist her." How will Allah assist her? And we take that as, I read a story about a Muslim sister who was discussing with another fellow Muslim sister, and then the other sister was saying that, "Do you know if you don't want your husband to marry more than one wife?" He said, "What?" He said, "What will I do?" He said, "You give him more responsibility. You don't want, when you give him more responsibility, financial responsibility, he doesn't think about marrying the second wife." And then this woman went home, and truly he started making demand and demand and demand. So when the husband comes, so there was the husband said, "I think I should marry." He said, "No, not in this house. You will never do that." And the other said, "Okay, no problem." After a month, she lost her husband without any cause. The guy just came back from work and he said he had headache. He said, "Please sleep, take paracetamol." He did that, he slept and he died. Then she was a very young girl at the age of 26 with 2 children. She lost her husband. the first year, the second year, the third year. The parents started from, she moved into the house of her own elder sister. Then she was 29 with 2 children. Then the children of her sister were given her problem, not her sister. And they started telling her, go to your husband, leave our house, you keep on doing this, you keep on doing that. So after 3 years, she was forced to accept proposal from outside. She was young, she asked to remarry. So she accepted one of the proposals, okay, I'm going to marry you. So they both agreed to marry each other. And after a month of her consent, this guy disappeared. She didn't see him anymore. And then when she was looking for him, she got to know that it was the guy's wife at home that said, no, you can never marry somebody. I will never allow that to happen. Then she started thinking of what she said at the beginning too. She said, is this a reply to what I did? And she was in tears, crying all alone, nobody to assist her. And after that incident, she had almost 3 proposals, resulting in the same thing. If the wife at home is not the problem, the parents of the man will be the problem. And then that was how she was living in agony. Today, because we are less concerned about others, because we feel our stomach, we find ourselves in Europe, we are less concerned about those in our country, either they eat or not. To the extent that some of us, even our parents, are at home, we are less concerned about them. We don't even ask. We don't need to go, just send money. I overheard a conversation between some people who said, I've stopped sending money to my brother. He was asked why. He said, you always lie, telling me my father is sick, my mother is sick, that you send money. And that's why I stopped sending money. I said, hey, you stopped sending money? Because he lies. So how much is the money? I said, if the reverse is the case, if your brother is here and you are there, you will do the same. You will even do worse. No, let's think of it. If the reverse is the case, if you were there, you will do worse. I'm not saying that what they do, the way they lie is good. I'm only trying to give us a picture of how we should be thinking. You understand? Your own mind is okay. If you lie, no problem. I will send whatever I am able to send. Just send it. Forget about him lying or not. Forget about him lying. There will be a day Allah will expose him to you. You don't even need to seek for that. Allah will really expose him. And it will show. But you don't have to stop your goodness for that sake. Keep on doing it. These are your parents. You must have on a monthly basis what you say to them. This is the upkeep for my father, upkeep for my mother. You must do that. What else do you want to do? Some of us will not do that. And if we are called upon to do that, we keep on complaining. So then this day came, they told you, your father is dead. Then you took the next flight. So what do you want to go and do? To feed the dead body? After he has gone? So, as far as Islam is concerned, this good behavior is taught by the Prophet ﷺ, and we should know that those are the 3 levels. It's either you love your brother above yourself, or you love him equally. You cannot love him less than. No, less than is not acceptable from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will not accept that. And that is what we do today. Let me give you this hadith to support that. The Prophet said, La yu'minu ahadukum. No, that's not the meaning of the hadith. I don't think I remember it. But the meaning of the hadith is that ليس المؤمن بالذي هو يشبع. Yeah, that's the context. It said, he is not a believer. That's the hadith from the Prophet. He is not a believer, one who fills his stomach, وَجَارُهُ فِي جَنْبِهِ جَائِهٌ, but his neighbor is hungry. What about that? That's the hadith. He said he is not a believer, one who fills his own stomach. He is okay, but his neighbor is hungry. He sleeps and he is okay. He can even pour some of the food, waste food, in the dustbin. But the neighbor is crying overnight. How will you know that? You think the Prophet is talking about your neighbor in number 3 and number 1, while you are number 4. He's not talking about that. He's talking about your Muslim fellow Muslim brothers. When we come to Juma, you can know this when you know where your brother is living, your sister is living, and you'll be able to think deeply. So, wallahi ta'ala, I met him today in a place that, Allah Akbar. And you say, where do you live? He said, I sleep under the staircase. Under the staircase? You don't have a home to yourself. And you'll be surprised. So the fact that you are living well does not mean others are also living well. And we cannot know this except we are trained under the Islamic morals, which dictate that we should give preference to others and we should love for others what we love for ourselves. So inshallah, we'll stop there tonight, and next week we'll continue on that, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us so many brilliant examples which we can work with. What we just need to do is to revive all these good examples, live by them, put them into practice. Let's practicalize them. Let's see if it will work or not. That's none of our business. Our business is to put them into practice. Don't say that can never work. It's none of your business. Have you tried it? Have you ever done it before? When last did you do that? Have you ever given preference to somebody above yourself without complaint? Then let's see how it goes. Then you say, okay. But we've never tried it. You've never left your house for the house of others to say that I came to you just to say salam alaikum for the love of Allah. Have you done that before? You say, nah, it will never work. What do you mean it will never work? You try it and see if it will work or not. So these are the teachings of Allah through the Prophet ﷺ to every one of us, and it is incumbent on us to put them into practice and give it a chance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. Amen. Make us among those who will listen to His word and follow the good path we had. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So the floor is open for question and comment. If there is a contribution or whatever observation, the floor is open. Or if there is question also, the floor is open for that. Any question? Comment? Okay. In the light of no comment and question, we'll close the curtain, draw the curtain on today's episode of the Halaqa. Next week, inshallah, we'll continue on giving preference to others and then wishing them well. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.